Previously on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns take on the entire tag team division in a good angle that makes tension between the two. Let's see if this week's SmackDown can carry that on. Spoilers, it doesn't. Hello and welcome to my review of SmackDown. Let's start off with a recap of what happened on SmackDown. Miz, Bryan, Ryback Kane, Barrett R-Truth, New Day Ascension, Luke Reigns, Big Show Eric, Paige Cameron. Then actually some storyline with Goldust and Stardust, Kid Jimmy. Never mind, Rusev stopped that match. Ziggler Seth, and in an unprecedented ending to SmackDown, the Authority beat down the babyfaces for the 1000th time. Which has no relevance to anything. What the bloody hell happened to this show? I've been enjoying SmackDown. There hasn't been like major story points, but they have like carried things on. This had nothing. This was just matches. Matches with no stakes whatsoever. Absolutely ridiculous. You had your two main eventers going into Fastlane. Just have a match. Just short, fine matches. Even Roman Reigns looked strong in his match, which was a plus. Suppose you could say they're good because they're giving them wins before the pay-per-view, but there was no interaction, no backstage segments between the two, no interviews with either of them. You could have, at the very least, you could have had them watching each other's match. Have Daniel Bryan in the ring against The Miz, and have Roman Reigns looking at a monitor, just looking. They brawled on Raw. It was like one of the first things they showed when SmackDown started was a video package of what happened on Raw, this brawl, and then nothing is mentioned. How bloody ridiculous that is. Well, that's how your main eventers were treated, as just guys to appear and guys to go with very little storyline, so who cares about them having a match on the pay-per-view? The Intercontinental Champion. You've got Dean Ambrose on commentary, which is fine. But the story of this match, Barrett's fighting R-Truth, by the way, not that it matters. Ambrose is just ignoring Barrett. He's just there. That's fine. But then you got like Barrett going, oh, why is Senpai not looking at me? Oh, what can I do to make him look? Oh, I miss him so much. It's like, what the bloody hell? You're the Intercontinental Champion. Just win your goddamn match as fast as possible. Bam! Just show him that you're a badass. He doesn't have to look at your every move, for God's sake. So, of course, it comes down to just Dean Ambrose completely turning his back on the match. Barrett is like, God damn it! And then gets rolled up and pinned. Your Intercontinental Champion has just been pinned by R-Truth going into the pay-per-view. Wow! I really think this is going to be a top match. Your contender doesn't even acknowledge the champion, and your champion just lost to R-Truth. A match that I was actually really looking forward to. That emotion, that sort of excitement has just been squashed. Thank you, WWE. Well done. Funny thing is, they do a similar segment to this later on with the Divas, but it's better. You've got the Bellas on commentary. They're just putting down the number one contender, while the number one contender, Paige, is in the ring and just has a strong showing of a match, winning clean. Your number one contender is looking strong going into the pay-per-view, while your arrogant heel champions are just looking like you just want them to get beaten. This is the sort of build-up you should do. What the hell happened with the Intercontinental title? The Divas title, I'm just far more into this match than I am the Intercontinental title, which is meant to be your like launching pad to the World Championship. Ridiculous. Well done, Divas. This is good. I do want to see Paige and Nikki. That's going to be an interesting match. But, this just shows the build that should have happened with the Intercontinental title. Match I was actually interested in seeing on this show in Kid and Jimmy, because this is sort of a more fresh matchup. We haven't seen too many out of them, and I really like seeing Tyson Kidd. He's not had his chance to shine. He had a really good triple threat last year, but yeah, he's not quite been given that opportunity. So Of course, this is the match they choose for Rusev to come out and just like attack everyone and then destroy your tag team champions. So you got Rusev that was just beaten up and just absolutely schooled by John Cena, so he looks weak going into his Cena match. And then you've got the tag team champions getting beaten up by one guy that got beaten up on Monday, so they look weak going into their title match. Kid and Cesaro, at least they got a little insert promo that shows their character, and oh, I just love it. The power of their friendship will win the title. That's amazing. But then you forget about that because you forget about this match because Rusev has just killed everyone and made them look weak. Oh, are you just determined to devalue every single title you have, WWE? And what I see as the saving grace of this show is the Goldust Stardust storyline. It's sort of, they managed to recap it well, and then you've got a heartfelt interview from Goldust saying that the darkness just snuck into Cody. When you sort of put on these personas, they can just take a mind of their own and sort of get into you, and he knows where this goes. And Stardust is a cancer that is going to kill Cody. As Goldust is going into this, Stardust appears on the monitor. It says, Cody is dead, and at the pay-per-view, no one will ever remember the name Goldust. Ha! This segment alone has actually made me more excited for this match. I hope this match does make it onto WrestleMania for like a big stipulation of like, Goldust loses, his career is over. If he wins, Stardust goes. And you do some big emotional thing with that. You can have Stardust winning it, but then seeing that he's ended his brother's career, he like just takes off the face paint. And yeah, there's a lot you could do with this. There's an emotional brother storyline, and it needs to end with Cody Rhodes looking strong, because let's be honest, the division could use some new guys that could... I think he could be up in there in that World Championship level. Or at least you can have some more new in the mid-card division, really just putting on some good matches. Let's do the best we can for Cody. And if Goldust is going out, let's make this one hell of a match. Give them time. Come on. You've got my interest, WWE. Let's keep this up. This show was just devoid of story. You had matches with just like little things, but no like big angle for the show. It's just ridiculous. It's like they just completely forgot to write anything for this show. And your main event, even though it didn't have any stakes to it, I was just looking forward to having a really good match between Ziggler and Seth. But of course, Kane, Eric, Ryback, Big Show come out. And that leads it to having Kane distract at the end. So Ziggler gets pinned, curb stomped. Authority are about to leave, then it turns out into a beatdown angle. First they beat down Eric, Ryback comes back in, gets beaten down, and the Authority is standing strong. Yet again, baby faces. This happens so much that the crowd just... You can't believe in the baby faces winning ever now. There's just no way. The Authority just always wins. There's nothing you can do. You're not building anything. As far as I go, none of these guys have anything to do with the pay-per-view. So, your final segment on SmackDown wasn't even just a big tear-down match. It was just an angle that doesn't have a finishing point. Because they've got no advertised match as far as I've seen up to date. They could make one out of this, but that just seems stupid. And you just got your babyfaces losing yet again, like they have for like the past 2-3 years now. Your babyfaces have just been beaten down constantly. They've got to win at some point. Even their like win at Survivor Series with Ziggler was just very quickly glossed over and trounced. What's the point in cheering for guys you know are going to lose? And you know the Authority's always going to win. It just totally deflates you as a fan. And this has nothing... Why would you buy a pay-per-view after this ending? This main event segment? What about that makes you want to buy a pay-per-view? I know it's free this month, that doesn't matter, but What from this makes you want to go and see Fastlane? Nothing. None of these guys are involved. It doesn't have any stakes. There's just... This is probably the worst SmackDown I have ever seen, especially going into a pay-per-view. The best match on the show, I would actually say, is Roman Reigns versus Luke, because Roman Reigns looked strong going into this match. It was decent. It wasn't just the squash. Luke got some of his stuff in, but Reigns did come out strong. That should have been the final match on the show. You have Roman Reigns winning, the crowd cheering him on. You then go into him versus Daniel Bryan, or like, once Roman Reigns wins the match, you have Daniel Bryan come out on the ramp, and you don't even need to do anything with him. Just have like a stare down. And it's like, okay, these guys looking strong, and they're going into this main event of Fastlane. That is a much better finish than you get with bloody just, the Authority of the Best for no reason. It's the awful booking. WWE, does Vince Russo work for you? Because frankly, at this point in time, maybe you should hire him. Maybe it wouldn't be as bad. Stupid swerves every 5 seconds couldn't possibly be worse than just nothing of substance. At least if things are so bad that they're funny, it's entertaining. This was just boring. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below or on my Facebook. What do you think they could have done to improve this? Did you actually like any segments from this? Let me know. And until next time, like, subscribe, and TTFN.